Are you looking to level up your author business?
Are you pounding your head against a wall, wondering what your next step should be? Then join me, Daniel Wilcox.
And me, Sacha Black, as we haul ass each week in a bid to level up.
Level up!
Come along for the ride as we delve deep into the business of writing,
Craft,
entrepreneurship,
and every level of the author journey. This is the Next Level Author Podcast.
Hello, Achievers. This is episode 47 of the Next Level Author Podcast, a podcast where we hold each other to account and track our step-by-step progress as we level up our author business. My name is Sacha Black, and here with me every week is...
Daniel Wilcox.
Hello, Daniel.
I really hate saying my name in those intros. And that's gone back to like the first podcast I ever did, because it just feels really weird saying your own full name.
Yeah.
I know when people are like, oh, who are you speaking to? What's your name? It's just like, Dan. It's easy, Dan. Whereas with this, it's Daniel Wilcox. I don't know. Carry on, as you were.
In that particular voice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are we? How was your week?
This week has been a month. Yeah, I'm good. I was going to say burned myself out, but I feel surprisingly okay today.
It's because you're with me.
Always. But yesterday was so basically, for people who are regular listeners, I am trying to catch up quite significantly on a ghost written project that I am working on, and I've had to catch up on like 15,000 words on top of the stuff that I'm already writing as well. If you can hear any noise, that's my father talking very loudly in the next room.
Amazing.
Interesting. But yeah, so this week has been a lot of fiction, but it's also been really good in terms of steps towards other things that I'm working on. So I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm seeing the road ahead, and my sleep has gotten back on track, which has had like a significant impact on my productivity and stuff. And yeah, just it's been a long, hard week, but I feel good for it. So I've got a bit more to do today, so I can, take the weekend off, and then this book wraps up next Friday, and then after that, it kind of all slows down from there. So I can see the finish line.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it was half term for me as well, and my mum was fabulous and has taken my son 4 out of the 5 days, which has been amazing, so thank you very much, mama. And how's the week been? It's been okay. I didn't get as much done as I thought I would. I did more than I thought I would. I know that's a complete contradiction. But yeah, I finally, yesterday, when I completed like a chapter of side characters, I finally felt like there might be a finish line. And so I think my priority needs to be trying to finish sections, just because I was getting very demoralized with how long the book was getting. Yeah, so anyway.
We both seem to hit the sticky middle at the same time.
I know.
Weird that.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about this last week. I've just been working. Same shit every week.
Stuff's been happening.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what about a success of the week? Do we have a success of the week? Level up of the week?
We're going to go this week for Yanni, who said that, and again, the answer to this level up was, how has January gone? And that was early this month. I took part in Jane Friedman's query letter course, learned a whole bunch, and also completed Dry January, which that's a mission in 2021.
That is a mission. Yeah.
Well done, Yanni.
Is. Huge congratulations. Do we have any new patrons?
We do. We have Orla Byrne. So welcome to the group, Orla. Thank you for your support. And you'll have access to all of the recorded Patreon Q&As. You'll get early access to every episode, and sort of advance notice on when we do polls and everything else. So yeah, welcome to the tribe, and thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. We both
and for people who would like to get involved, you can head over to www.patreon.com/nextlevelauthors.
Okay, what have you enjoyed?
Just this moment with you. It's all I need. I live in the present. I don't care about the past anymore.
Jesus. No wonder you're single. Oh. I'm sorry.
Wow. Where did
Burn.
that come from?
I don't know. I was just like, wow, that's so cheesy.
Out of left field. Jesus. How lovely I was to you and how instantly you repelled.
Listen,
Jesus. I'm waiting for that hiss
look
again.
I was just about to say, look what happened when you called me sunshine, okay?
What have I enjoyed? This week I have enjoyed my boot camp because it's full of wonderful people that get the work done and help me get the work done. And we had our first sort of special guest Q&A last night with my writing buddy Luke Condor, who popped into the group, gave us an hour of his time for people just to quiz him, ask questions, sort of just pluck out any bits of information that they wanted to know.
And I was yesterday years old when I learned that there was a book called The Haunted Vagina.
There you go.
So I learned a thing.
Link to Haunted Vagina by Colton
Malik the Third or something.
Malik the Third, yeah. Because Luke's heading into bizarro fiction. I say heading into, that's kind of where he sat for a while, but it was just good to sit and have a chat and let other guys pick his brain. So I've really enjoyed that this week, and just, I mean, this will jump into our accountability as well, but I hit my 10,000 words on Saturday that I had planned for, and most of that was because I was on camera most of the day with the boot campers. So thank you guys for everyone who was there.
Lovely.
What's yours?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to move on then.
No, I've only watched like 3 episodes because I haven't really had any time this week. But we started what. My frustration is that when I picked this, I thought it was like one season. Actually, I thought it was a film, and then I realized it was a season. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It's only one season of like 10 episodes. And instead, it's 5 seasons of like 22 episodes. So now I am in for the long haul. But we started watching Jane the Virgin, and it is exquisite.
You thought it was a film?
Yeah, it is exquisitely written. Like, I don't know if you have you watched it? Of course you haven't.
I've seen bits of it when I lived with my ex.
It is so well written. The first couple of episodes, there could not be more conflict, right? They just layer it on, and everybody is interconnected. Like, whoever, I'm actually going to go and look at who wrote it because they're a fucking genius. Okay, so not only is it funny, but I actually am now watching it because I just appreciate how clever and like how cleverly written it was. So many twists and turns, and like just so like love it. I
know a few of the turns and stuff. It is the one, I can't remember the actress's name, but it's all based around like telenovelas and stuff. No, am I thinking something else?
Yeah. Oh, where there's an actor who's
her dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well done. That should have been a spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I know that.
Oops.
No, I know it, but I'm just saying for listeners, that should have been a spoiler alert. Anyway, yes. There's a you do find that out relatively, I think it's like the second episode you find that out, so it's not too much of a spoiler. But it's just, there are so many twists and turns that are just fantastic in it, and it's just very cleverly written. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. Okay, weekly confessional. Can you read out what we were supposed to do?
Our weekly confessional was specific things, and Dan is stalling. They are here. Sacha will set up her signature and out of office for her email, finalize the details of her secret project, time block her next week, make time to input and work on side characters.
Okay, wow, that was a lot. I'm going to forget them all. So one by one.
Out of office and signature.
Okay, so I did do my signature. The out of office, oh my God, what a fucking palaver that has been. So
Apple does not make it easy.
No. So I followed the instructions that Brett kindly gave us in the Patreon. And I set it all up correctly this time. So I didn't email every single person who has ever been in my inbox ever. However, it didn't work. So
sorry, just to interrupt there. The fact that is a hurdle to jump over is effing ridiculous, because I've gone through mine and done mine as well. And when it's like apply these rules to messages, you think you should click apply, but apply means messages is in every message. But I don't understand how this isn't an issue that Apple have.
And the thing is, it doesn't actually turn on until you click apply. So when you click done to apply, what?
Is that okay? No, that's very surprising.
Yeah,
That's
well, because you
stupid.
said it's not working for you and it's not working
Yeah.
for me. And the only other time I've had it working, so the only
Was
time
when
I
you
got it
applied
working
it.
was when I clicked apply.
Oh,
So
Apple, sort your shit out.
I know. So you literally can't get an out of office via Apple. So what I had to do is I went, I mean, I think I've got like 7 different email addresses, but anyway, I went to the 2 that are like my 2 author ones that everybody emails me on.
So
And
popular.
oh, fuck off, Daniel. And so I set up out of offices on those 2 email addresses. And I think I'm hoping that it's working. And of course, in my true fashion, I set up a very ridiculous, cheeky, like silly email responder, which I've
So
set for
everyone
the next
listening,
100
email
years.
Sacha now.
Please don't. Please don't.
You set that up
I
yourself.
really, no. Anyway, so yes, I did do
30
that.
unread messages.
Don't. What was the next one? Because I've forgotten already.
Out of office, we've got finalize details of your secret project.
Okay, so this one's exciting. I did finalize details. So the details that I meant were like the requirements. I'm trying to be discreet here, which I finalized, and I've loaded it up onto my website, and I've told my patrons about the opportunity that's coming. I've ordered something in relation to it, and once that thing is, and that's out of my hands, so I have finalized everything that I could finalize. And so once that comes back, which might be before the next time we record, I will have that to announce and maybe talk about. So then I will start announcing it publicly.
It is exciting.
It is exciting. I've got one person who's definitely involved, and they've now confirmed that they're going to do it. So I'm super excited about that. I'll tell you about that offline. And yeah, so yes, I did that. What was the next one? I did all the things
Time
this
block.
week. Time blocked. I've also already time blocked next week, which is exciting. Yeah, boy. I'm really enjoying the time blocking. I'm not sure if I'm as productive as I can be. I don't know. Anyway, well,
I think you tweak it, and it's like it's just a
yeah.
foundation at this point. I think you can adapt it as you go.
Yeah. What was next?
Next was make time to input.
Okay, is that the last one?
Work on side characters.
Okay, right. So input. Okay, so that one I was dangerously close to failing. I did input last night. You witnessed me do it. It wasn't a huge amount, but this is the absolutely insane thing. I had open like 2 books, and I was just flicking, and I was reading some stuff about people who are like collectors of like death antiquities and things, and it wasn't even the stuff that I was looking at. This is what I find bizarre. I was looking at this stuff, and all of a sudden I had story ideas about something completely different. And like, it's just, I have to input in order to get those ideas. So I have been reading this week as well, which I do count as input, and also watching Jane the Virgin, which I also count as input. However, I am realizing that the most valuable input for me personally is making time to sit down and flick through like informational type books, like coffee table type books with lots of pictures and like random quirky stories and things. This is how, right? So I was looking in a book about people who collect like skulls and like weird like fetuses and stuff. And all of a sudden, 5 seconds later, I'm on Wikipedia and have discovered that Barbara fucking Cartland has written, published over 723 novels in her lifetime. And she averaged 23 a year. 23 a year every year for her publishing career. And when she died, this is the fucking killer. She left 160 unpublished, completed, finished novels. But this is just like the random amazingness of input and like where it leads me. And then I have like all of these weird story, kooky ideas. And anyway, so yeah. And then side characters, I finished a whole chapter, which is excellent. I think in terms of sections, I did like maybe 5 sections, and I've added a few thousand words this week. So yeah, that's me.
Just gonna leave that hanging for a minute.
What's that? 5,000 words this week.
Just did well. Mine were to hit a 10,000 word day on Saturday, which I did. I think I got about 10,400. And then set up promos for my coaching and my bootcamp, which I have set up. They are running on Facebook. And I've also not even sort of consciously worked towards this, but I've now figured kind of like my funnel and what my next steps are in terms of my nonfiction to grow my nonfiction platform, because my mailing list and stuff is pretty small at the minute. Not bad for, you know, someone that has one nonfiction book to their name. But I kind of have given myself the roadmap of what my next steps are, what I'm going to do, how to like link that to other stuff with my coaching business. I've got like, people can probably see it fuzzily on my right hand side. Like I basically mapped my entire business on my board in terms of things I need to pay attention to, what's going to come next, how it all links together. And yeah. So I did the things.
Bravo. Comments.
So we said last week that we were going to sort of carry over some of the comments from episode 45. So episode 45 was, are you where you thought you'd be at this point? Holly straight out just says that she can confirm that the episode is a must watch, because that is the episode in which Sacha had dealt me a forfeit. So if you've not seen episode 45 yet, we highly recommend it on YouTube. Michael Nasberg says, sadly, I'm not where I'd hoped I'd be, at least in terms of income. My initial goal of leaving my day job has been met, but my first books were really successful and my subsequent books were not. I've published more duds than I ever thought would happen, and I've not spent time developing my advertising technique. I'd hoped to be making more, especially as my back catalogue has grown, but at least I haven't had to go on a job hunt, so I can't complain too much. I think after living on my own schedule and doing whatever I want whenever I want, I can't go back to a 9 to 5. And the general vibe, I think, from a lot of people was that they're not quite where they thought they would be. And what was the saying? I think there's a saying that always resonates with me, which is like, we overestimate what we can fit into a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 10, right? It might even be 5, which I think is
that's
totally
the phrase,
true.
10.
Yeah. So keep on plugging away, guys. Episode 46 was what are your major health concerns and how are you going to combat them? And we had one from Meg Jolly, who says, mental health is my biggest health concern. Got to be emotionally stable to produce. That being said, physical health is so intertwined with this, making daily time now for meditation and walking, occasional affirmations too. CJ Dainton said, contemplating quitting my regular job, which involves a lot of standing and has had subsequent foot/posture/fatigue issues. Bobby Ann Atwood says, physical health, I have heart palpitations. Mental health, I have PTSD. I do just want to say thank you to everyone who was just really transparent and shared, you know, some of the things that you suffer from, because I think when it comes to health, particularly with this kind of career and just making a sustainable career in general, it's important to pay attention to. And it was really
eye-opening how many people have got chronic issues.
Yeah, eye-opening, humbling, just to see, you know, you guys share and be really, really open and transparent. And shout out as well to Brett, who put sort of like a full list of, you know, the stuff that he suffers from, but he's still plugging away and trying to make a career out of it also. Yeah, thank you guys. And just a shout out as well to Edwin, Faye, Jasmine, Scott, Carey, and of course Brett.
Okay, question of the week, which is really annoying because I didn't actually decide between the 4 questions I have on my bit of paper which question I was going to ask you. So I have a question that I was going to ask for me, but I think I might save that one for a different week. And instead, I'm going to ask you a question for you.
Just before you do, are you shrinking? You feel like over the episode just slowly started going out of frame.
So I've tipped my computer screen up. I'm actually finding I prefer it slightly tilted towards.
You do you, darling.
Anyway, and then also I was sat down, so I was just like shrinking. Okay. Also, my chair is very creaky. Anyway,
so is mine.
Yeah, it's like my chair is doing poppages, and I just awkwardly embarrassing. So I hope nobody thinks it's me. Anyway, right, the question. Oh bollocks, this is so hard. I have 4 cracking questions. All right. How do you deal with all your ideas?
Okay. While I filibuster, an idea that's just popped into my head, maybe at some point we should do a poll for Patreons just to suggest questions that we can ask each other.
Yes, that's amazing. I love it. Let's do that this week. I'll do it.
Okay. How do I cope? Was that the wording you used?
I think I said, how do you deal with all your ideas?
Freudian, wonderful. How do I cope? So
stop it.
How do I deal with all my ideas? I don't know. My initial response is basically gut. I'm the type of person, and I know that you're different on this, that I prescribe to the Stephen King line of thinking, which is, if an idea is good, if it's strong, if it deserves legs, then it will stay with you, even if you don't write it down or anything else. Like, it's those ideas that I kind of like hang on to. I've never been one for listing down my ideas, or putting them somewhere safe for if I'm like ever dry or just want to like pick out something and see what's going on.
Where's your ideation?
Quite high, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that might be why you don't need to write them
Maybe.
down.
Yeah. Because it's like I will have an idea for something, and all right, if we're gonna go down the Clifton strengths route, I'm also activate a very high. So if I get an idea that I like enough and I feel like it aligns with my goals and what I want to achieve, then I just do. If it's an idea that simmers away in the background, I'm like, oh, potentially could work on this. It's then up to that idea whether or not it simmers in the background and stays there or fades away completely. I'm not a type of person who typically looks, months, years ahead and knows what my publishing schedule is going to be for the next 3 to 10 years. Because when I finish a project, I generally like to just work on whatever the next thing is that has gripped me. That being said, at the minute it's very different because I have a project literally staring at me in the face. I think it's because the book cover's on my wall that I want to get to it. So that's just remaining there. And also I've started writing that story as well, and I fucking love it. So yeah, I think I get a lot of onslaught of ideas all the time. I think in the beginning we always have that struggle of where do the ideas come from? What are the ones that are worth holding on to? And I think the longer you go in this business, the more you just get used to the ideas that grip you and what work with you. So fiction wise, I take a lot of inspiration from films. I read a lot and take inspiration from that. And then if I've got sometimes if I've got quite a few ideas, what I'll do is take the main thread of one and then see how I can work others into it as well. So I can, pay attention to the little bits that are calling for me. But yeah, I don't have anything too formal. It's just mostly I'm in a position now where I know where I want to head. Not to say that can't change at any point, but at the minute I know where I want to head. I now am more cognizant of what I believe to be a good idea versus a bad idea.
How do you know?
Trial and error, mostly. I mean, I'm going to backtrack here. Bad ideas don't exist, in my opinion. Less effective ideas. So I've got 1 or 2 short stories and novels which I have written, which haven't performed as well. And I know why. And it was because I was motivated by the wrong outcome. So they weren't true to the type of art I want to create. Business-wise, the less effective ideas are the ones that I know are going to accommodate my time and yield little in terms of results. So now I'm getting much better at assessing which ideas are more likely to help me grow in the way that I want to grow. And like I said, I think that just a lot of that just comes with trial and error. I think in the beginning, you also have to be very experimental and just try stuff. I think it's very, very easy to get crippled by what you believe to be a good or a bad idea. And I think you just have to create and learn and find out what discovers for you. Like I think this whole business is just a journey of discovery from the start to like the end. Yeah, I don't know if that answers it well, but like my primary answer is I listen to my gut, and if an idea is strong enough that it sticks with me, then it will stay there. And 9 times out of 10, I will just activate and do and make it happen if it's strong enough.
Like it.
How about you, Sacha?
So I do like to keep my ideas down. I don't know where my ideation is. I feel like it might be middle bucket, but I have strategic, which often it often looks like ideation because you can see all the paths, and so it gives you lots of options and ideas and things. Anyway, I am senile, as we all know. And if I don't write shit down, I literally will forget it, even the good ideas. Like, I don't care what Stephen King says. If I don't write something down, it is gone. I have far too much to remember to remember everything. So I have like files and folders. Well, so this is a thing, like the likelihood is I will always remember the high level concept, but what I'm not very good at is detail. And sometimes I come up with a really cool detail that I really want to be in the story. And because I'm not good with details, it's details that I will forget easily. So those are the things that I write down. So like, for example, I don't know if you've ever heard V.E. Schwab talk about like the oven principle. And so she will have like 6 hobs, and each hob is a book, and one will be boiling, and that's the one she's writing, and one's like simmering, and that will be the one that's coming up next. And then there's a few that are just, one's cold and it's only just been put on, one's, just starting to have the first bubble or whatever. And I'm very much like that. So I know that I have like, I'm trying to finish the Keeper series. I've got the Scent of Death. The one after that will either be Murdering Magicians, because I've already got like I'm world building on my wall for that. And that's, this is books and books and books away. And then I've got a vampire series called The Fomori. And then I've got a standalone where it's all about like the devil and Hades. And then I've got this other one with the 3 female villains. And it's like, there's so many books down the line, but they all have to they all require time to percolate and for me to input and write things down as I go. Otherwise, when I get to write them, I'll have no ideas. So I have to have this long journey of connection with them. But anyway, in terms of how I deal with my ideas, I literally have like folders for all of these books and like notes and things. And I will collect pictures and images, and I'll put shit on my bedroom, my office wall. So I have like Post-its and stuff. And so, yeah, like for me, I find it very difficult when there are ideas and things that I want to work on. My activator can be a bit of a bitch in that I will start too many things. And I listened to the Focus episode this past week, and it was a bit of a sharp reminder that the chances are I probably work better when I just concentrate on one thing. And that's really hard for me to swallow. Now, there were exceptions, and the exceptions were people who are high achievers, maybe people with strategic, and a couple of others. And that's because your plate size is bigger. And so, but it was still a reminder that actually, instead of having 10 projects on the go, I should probably only have 3. And yeah, so I suppose that's, that was one of the things that prompted this, because I'm like, well, I don't know, like, how can I be faster or more effective or more efficient with like all of these ideas? Because I don't want to let them go. I want to still do them, but also I have to just finish shit. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm really answering this question. Oh, when I get an idea though, I know I get asked this sometimes, like when you have an idea for another thing, but you're still working on something else, what do you do? And for me, I will go and indulge it just temporarily, because I'm never going to stop and just go and write a whole nother book. I don't write fast enough for that. So I will allow myself, an hour or so to like go and play with this idea and write notes down and just get the thoughts down, because otherwise I'll lose it. So yeah, it is a process of like capture and store.
Yeah, I will add that particularly earlier on, when I was writing a lot of short stories for the Other Stories podcast, that was a really good breeding ground for ideas. So it was basically, you had a theme. In the beginning, the stories were 1,000 words, and they went up to 2,000 words. And that was a really good way for me to just flex particular muscles or fancies that I had. And then a couple of stories from those shorter stories have since grown into other things or worked their way into other series. So The Mark of the Damned, which was a novella I brought out in 2019, that originally started as a 2,000 word short story and ended as a 28,000 word novella. So that's sometimes a good way just to scratch that itch, is just throw it into a short story and play with it. Like you say, just indulge that idea for a little while.
Yeah, and funnily enough, one of the things that I've sort of said to myself this year is that I want to write more short stories, because I think, one, I'll get like achiever pennies because it's something finished and done.
Oh, yes, please.
2, I'll get competition pennies because I can submit to competitions. And 3, it will give me a chance to, if to create reader magnets or to just play in new arenas whilst I'm still trying to finish the projects that I'm working on. So I think I will, like, in terms of like craft pennies and stuff, I think I'll be happier by forcing myself to do that. So yeah, like short stories are something I really want to work on this year. So I used to write flash fiction all of the time. Like weekly, I was writing like 3 to 4 pieces of flash fiction as well as working on my novels. And that has stopped. And I haven't done that for like 2 years. And I think I feel like I'm feeling that hole. And I just need to be able to play. Like, you were saying to me recently, oh, what are you doing for you? Well, not a lot really. And actually this is something that is for me, and it is meaning that I get to play like with different voice and different prose styles and different characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I might hold myself accountable here for that. Yeah, fuck. I think I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's happening live on air, folks.
Yeah. Fuck. Maybe not this week, but I'm definitely going to add that in, because I don't want to just say that I'm going to do it. I actually want to do it.
How do you, just to throw in another question, you obviously have this list of books and things that you know you're going to work on. Do you have a particular set schedule for which ones you're going to work on and when? Are they sort of prioritized in that order, or is it a case of when you finish a project, you then decide which ones to hop on?
No, it's the oven principle. I work on whichever one is boiling, and usually that is the one that I have been thinking about the longest. So, for example, The Scent of Death is absolutely the next book, because it's the one that I know the most about, because I've been thinking about it for the longest. So
Well, I'm sick of hearing about.
I know, like I have, but also this is a funny thing. I have to write that book before I finish the series, the Keepers series, because I don't actually have the plot of the Keepers series, like the last book. I mean, I know what happens, but I don't have the detail. And it's because I haven't been thinking about it, because I've just been trying to finish the third fucking book for like 2.5 years. Anyway, so yeah, so I work on whichever one is shouting the loudest.
It's mad because I remember, I can't remember if it was a private conversation with you or on here, where I was like, yeah, I'm going to just chip away, finish the ones that I've got, narrow it down. And I've literally just had the realization where I was like, yeah, so I committed to a new book yesterday that I'm like basically going to do next week, not next week, the week after. That's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a very, very strong reason for why I'm going to do it. So
what are we like?
I don't know.
What are we like, honestly?
I don't know.
Okay, how are we leveling up our businesses this week?
We're not. I think we're going to let one crumble this week. I'm going to. I'm keeping one thing and one thing only on my plate, which is hitting this deadline. I've still got, after today, I'll have 27,000 words to finish it and bring it to a close. And then I'll have written an 80,000 word book in 3.5 weeks.
Fuck me. That is literally, like, I am so jealous.
And it's a good book as well for people who I know there'll be people listening going, well, that's not going to, like, I am very, very proud of this one. It's probably one of the better ones I've written. I believe.
So jealous that you can do this at that pace. Okay,
now
so
I have 4 fingers.
Last week I talked about the fact that I didn't feel like I was putting things on my list that were actually going to level me up.
Bailey, sorry, just
no. So I wrote a level up list, and I've got like 5,000 things on my list. So I am going to genuinely try, because I am going to write words. I am going to work on side characters this week. That much is obvious, because I am going to be charging towards the finish line this week with this book. So like, I think I've got to the tipping point where I'm 75% done. So I will get this last bit happens very quickly generally. So I think maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks at the most.
Smash my mic, we're fine.
And if I'm lucky, a week, but yeah, some point between a week and 2.5 weeks, and hopefully the book will be done. Anyway, so on my list, I'm going to
sorry, I'm really strongly to focus. I've got my dad talking, I can hear Bailey, I can hear my mum. And you're talking. Go.
Okay, so I am going to do an Apple review trawl. I publish on Apple, and then I put my book into KU for 3 months, and I lost all of the reviews, and I didn't realize that. Yeah, and it was only brought to my attention when I had a phone call with Apple my Amazon deliveries here, that none of the reviews came back. So I need to go and ask very politely anybody who's read my first book to go and put reviews on it on Apple.
Yes,
so
please.
that's one
Pop a
thing
link.
I'm gonna do this week. The second thing I'm going to do this week is I am going to put some words down on a short story. Let's say 500 words. Yeah, I don't want to say that I'm going to finish a short story because that's too much pressure. But I'm going to say that I'm going to put 500 words down on a short story.
Beautiful.
And I'm also going to rearrange my Apple blurb because that is another piece of advice that the Apple team gave me. So wait, one more. I'm really pushing myself. I'm going to start my launch plan for side characters.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I feel the fire now because I'm actually doing things that are actually going to level me up. And I feel like this is, I had it all wrong before. Oh, write some words. Well, I'm going to do that anyway. Of course I fucking am. Yeah, these are things that I would put off. So this is excellent.
In that vein, with your permission, I'll speak in code. Are you still with us?
I am. The cat just opened the door.
Oh, grim. With your permission, speak slightly in code. We are speaking on Sunday. I would be very interested for one of our things to be a discussion about the thing.
Okay. We can put that down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We are arseholes, by the way, for doing that.
Oh, I know.
Everyone's gonna be like, the thing, what is the fucking thing? What are they talking about? Can't tell you guys. Sorry, he's just a dick for bringing it up. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's one of both of our tasks is to talk about the thing.
The thing.
Cool.
Can we come up with a cool name for it? Nah, we'll leave that for now.
Yeah, let's leave that for now. I can't under pressure do that. Okay, audience question of the week. Oh, that's me. How do you
47 episodes.
Fucking hell, I know. How do you deal with all your ideas? And we will see you next week. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Hungry for more?
If you enjoyed this podcast, you can hear more of my angelic accent and Dan's dulcet tones on our other podcasts.
For more of me, check out the Great Writers Share podcast.
For more of me, listen to the Rebel Author podcast. We'll be back next week holding each other to account as Dan
and Sacha
become
Next level
authors.
Oh, go, do the thing.
I got my Sacha Black, Sacha Black, Sacha Black, Sacha Black, Sacha Black, Sacha Black, Sacha Black. I got my Sacha Black, Sacha Black.
Oh, and there's our
Mix it
Easter
up.
egg. I don't have a thing I've enjoyed, and I don't have.
You miserable bitch.
Oh, shut up.
This is me. This is me you're talking about.
You're
Give
being
me
boring.
more of you. I need more of it. Whatever you're giving me now, double it.
Honey,
then double it again.
You can't
because that's how
handle
this is going
more
to
of
work.
me. Hello, achievers. This is.
Is it?
Alexa, play notification.
Wow. Okay, take 2.
What episode is it?
47.
Are you sure?
100%.
I feel like it's 49.
It's 47.
Okay.
I've just looked at the Facebook comments.
Never will I ever be able to get the fucking episode number right.
Aw.
No, I'm joking. Come on. I can't. Do you know that sound breaks me every time you make that noise? I'm like, no, don't stop.
What sound? What sound?
The disappointed. No,
Huh.
I can't help but disappoint you. Oh, I'm not ready. I'm going. Goodbye.
Aww.
Also, I only have one sock on.
For those listening on the podcast, Sacha is as unprepared as ever. This is the typical setup ahead of our podcast recording, in which Dan is ready and he is waiting for Sacha to sit her ass down and record. We are currently 26 minutes past the time in which we initially said we were going to record, because Sacha does not prioritize Dan. Dan has gotten used to this fact. Dan is used to taking the back seat. Dan is used to being second best. One day he hopes that Sacha will give him her full attention and accept this partnership for what it is. Something magical, something that could be harnessed, metamorphosed into a beautiful butterfly. And then, hi, how you doing?
What were you saying? Sorry.
I want my Sacha, black Sacha, black Sacha, black Sacha, black Sacha, black Sacha, black.